Hi guys, it's Corinne here. I want to talk to you today about meal planning. Um, I saw that a bunch of people this week haven't quite started the nutrition and fitness portion of this, and sometimes that happens, and that's okay. Um, but hopefully this weekend you're getting ready. For some reason, a lot of people feel that once the Super Bowl's over, that's when they start with their New Year's resolutions and stuff. So maybe that's the case for you. In any event, whether you're ready now or you're ready next week or a month from now, I wanted to give you guys some tips about meal planning because it's crucial to everything on your journey. It's crucial to how you feel, it's crucial to your energy, it's crucial to your weight loss, to fueling your body properly, to making your body function properly. You'd be so surprised what a difference you will feel when you're eating healthier, cleaner, more whole foods, less processed foods, cooking your own foods versus eating out and consuming all that sodium. You'll learn as this group goes on. There's going to be a few different informative posts. First of all, I apologize that I'm in my bedroom. I was meal planning downstairs, like planning my menu for the week in my kitchen where people normally do such a thing, and my family kicked me out. They're having a dance party. So I came up here real quick to make the video for you guys, and I have some things that I want to show you, but it's really, really important. You're going to learn throughout the group about processed foods, about certain ingredients to avoid. And I know it can be really overwhelming because who's not busy, right? That's kind of why we're all in this group. And you think like, I don't have time, like I barely have time to go to the grocery store, let alone, prepare 5 meals, a different meal every night. And for me, for my family, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give you some tips to make it easier, but it's not it's not magic. You do have to invest some time. You do have to invest a little bit more money to eat better. Shop more on the perimeter of your grocery store, so you're buying less processed foods. You It's going to take time. It's going to be work, but the more you do it, you will get the hang of it. And I promise you that, and I'm speaking from experience because I am somebody who never ever did this. Even along my journey, I would at the very least, what I would do is cook a couple of things on like a Sunday and then like go and get them and serve myself during the week, which is good too if you can do that. But what I'm going to talk about today is a little different because what I do now is I cook as much as possible for the entire week for me and my husband, and certain things for my kids, but I'll touch upon that at the end. And then I portion it all out. I'm home. I work from home and I'm home, but I still portion my food out because it's just so easy. I'm always running around. Sometimes I'm literally standing at the counter eating my food. Sometimes I even take it into my car depending on the week, the day. So even though I'm home and I could easily serve it on, easily because I'm home, serve it onto a plate and serve myself, it's still easier to do my pre-portioned containers. So the first thing that you want to do, there's a few steps to meal planning. The very first thing you want to do is take some time to sit down, talk to your spouse, if your spouse is at all involved in, what you guys eat during the week, if he or she will eat whatever you want. Oh, well, he, because this is a mom group. So if your spouse will eat whatever you want, whatever you make, then by all means, go for it on your own. You don't worry about making time with him or her. So you want to first, I posted yesterday about my favorite cookbooks, Skinny Taste and Fixate. These are seriously like my Bibles. I go to them, I sit, I have my little menu book where I can plan everything out, what I'm going to have for the week, my grocery list. Now, what I do is I go through the book and I find meals that look good, like are going to taste good, and are fairly easy to make because I am not good in the kitchen. Like it takes me, I feel like, an hour to cut an onion. Obviously I'm exaggerating, and I have gotten better. Oh, I actually got sidetracked. I was saying that before. I never, ever, ever meal planned. I started meal planning over the summer, early summer. Nope, before the summer, I'm sorry, spring. And it changed my life. I hated it the first time. Like while I was doing it, I wanted to scream. I was like, this is for the birds. It's taking me 7 hours to cook all this food. This is crazy. And then during the week when I didn't have to cook a single thing and I didn't have to wash another dish and I didn't have to worry about what I was going to eat, and I lost weight because I was on point with my nutrition, I was like, oh, this is where it's at. Like that's totally worth my 6 or 7 hours. But each week I did it, it didn't take me 6 or 7 hours. It took me less and less time. So, and then the summer came and I kind of fell off for a little bit and then hopped back on, and then the holidays and I fell off for a little bit. You know, this is life. This is a journey, right? We all struggle. The struggle is real. But I'm back on and I want to share my tips with you because if you can just try to get into some sort of a groove, I promise it will help and you'll feel so good. Like I'm so proud of my meal prep. Tomorrow, once I get it done, I will share pictures. But for now, because you're going to see this video first thing on Sunday morning, I'm pre-recording it for you, obviously, but I am actually going to be meal prepping tomorrow, so I will share pictures with you guys. Feel free to tag me and ask any questions that you have. So I look through my cookbooks and I find meals that are, number 1, delicious, and number 2, easy enough for me to make because I'm, again, not handy in the kitchen. But both of these books are loaded with quick and easy and healthy meals. So I don't have to worry about, you know, really like sifting through all of it. Then I figure out what I'm going to have with them. Like if it's not a full meal with a vegetable and a starch, I figure that out. I write those out. Now, I'm following Hammer and Chisel. All of Beachbody's programs, and everybody in here should be following some type of a Beachbody program. All of them have a nutrition plan to follow. And the majority of them use the color-coded food storage containers, which I did not bring up to show you here, a sample. But basically, they're color-coded food storage containers that are like pictured here on the cover. And each different color is for a different macronutrient. So your green is your vegetables, your purple is your fruits, red is your proteins, etc. So I know what I'm allowed to have based on my weight, my program. I know how many of each color container I get. So when I look at the recipe, I figure out what its color container equivalent is, and I write that down, and then I start plugging it in. Like, okay, so Monday for lunch, I want to have the brisket with the onions, and okay, what am I going to have with the brisket and onions? I'm going to do roasted Brussels sprouts and whipped cauliflower puree. I figure out the container. I've already figured out the container equivalents for them, so I see what that entire meal is container-wise, and then I can cross them off of my list for my allotment, what I'm allowed per day, and then I know what's left. And then I fill in my snack. My Shakeology is, you know, not negotiable. I have it every day. That's one red. It's a protein. I'll have it with a fruit. That's a purple. Cross those off and keep going until I go through all my containers. Sometimes I have a container extra. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wanted to have this for dinner that day and I don't have an extra carb to have, so I'll switch it out with something else. Again, that takes time. In the beginning, it's a bit of a learning curve, I'm not going to lie. But once you get the hang of it, you'll know, like, you'll be able to more quickly be like, oh, okay, that other dish had a cheese in it, so that's my blue for the day, so I can't have another dish with cheese in it. And it just gets easier. So I end up filling it in. So pick your meals that you want to have for the week. Then write it out. Like, actually write it out, what you're going to have when. Then look at your recipes and make your grocery list. Then from your grocery list, you obviously go to the grocery store. And when you come home on Sunday or whatever day is the day for you, so maybe you have a weekday off depending on what you do for work, or you want to do it when your kids are at school on Monday to start the week. Whenever it is for you, plan and cook as much as you can ahead of time. I keep my food for 5 to 6 days. My meats and everything, if they're cooked, they're fine. They're totally, totally fine. If I ever have anything beyond the 6 days that's left over, I freeze it. The majority of things that I cook, I can freeze in freezer safe stuff, like Pyrex, and it's totally fine. And then it makes meal prep even easier next time because I already have stuff frozen. It doesn't always happen though, because I don't cook a different dish for every day. So what I usually do is I pick 4 meals for the entire week for me and my husband for 5 to 6 days. Usually something will come up. He'll have a meeting and he'll have lunch at work, so he doesn't eat his. He'll come home with his food. Um, we'll have a fundraiser for the school and we have to go out to eat for that night or whatever. And there's always something. So I don't prepare for the full 7 days. I prepare for 5 to 6 days because something does always come up and I don't want to waste the food. So, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. So basically, once whatever day it is that you can prepare everything, prepare it ahead of time. Cook as much as possible ahead of time. And then I got these little containers on Amazon. They're sectioned out. There's 3 sections there. And they have little covers. They are dishwasher safe. They are microwave safe. I am not a big fan of plastic. They're BPA free, but I'm not a big fan of plastic. But I will store in these because, again, it's just for the week and, just a couple of days. And when I'm home, I never heat up in these. My husband sometimes does at work, but sometimes he doesn't even have time to do that, so he eats his food cold. Whatever, to each his own. Depending on what it is, sometimes I eat it cold too, but if I'm home, I will heat it up in a pan because that's how I like to heat my food up anyway. I don't really like the way it tastes when it's reheated in the microwave. But I also use, depending on the dish that I'm making, like this week I'm going to make beef stew, so I'll use a Pyrex. I'm a big fan of Pyrex. So those I'll obviously heat up in the microwave if I need to. Okay, so after you go to the grocery store, you're going to come home and prepare as much as possible. Not just your meals, but cut your veggies. Know what fruits you're going to have. Again, have it all written out. Keep it somewhere on your kitchen counter or in a cabinet, like inside a cabinet door, so you can just open it every morning and be like, okay, this is what I got to pack with me to take to work, or this is what, I'm going to eat today, I'm going to have now, whatever. So you have it. If you have children, which I think everybody in here does, it depends, right? Some kids are great and some kids eat whatever you give them. Awesome. Then you don't have to worry about anything. My kids don't. My son can be easier than my daughter. My daughter is really picky. So I always make them try what I'm eating if it's something new. Honestly, 9 times out of 10 they don't like it. So I have a separate schedule for them. With a rotation of 5 or 6 of the same things, and they're not the healthiest things, but they're not the worst things either. So there are certain vegetables they'll eat. My daughter will eat peppers. She'll eat cherry tomatoes. They both eat sweet potatoes. They both eat avocados. So I make sure I have those things on hand all the time. And even if it doesn't go like a gourmet meal like I'm having, they don't know the difference. So they'll eat it. Like literally, if I give them macaroni and cheese, I give them a side of avocado and my daughter a side of tomatoes. My son will eat broccoli, so I have bags of frozen broccoli on hand all the time, so I could just quickly heat some broccoli florets up with him with a little oil and salt, and he's good to go. So some of the things I rotate through, they love turkey tacos, so I'll do, and they don't even usually have a shell. Sometimes I'll get them a whole wheat soft shell, but sometimes they just do a taco bowl with avocado, cheese, sour cream, and the turkey meat, and homemade taco seasoning. They will devour that. So that's one night. Then I have healthier chicken nuggets, frozen ones, those dinosaur ones. You can get them at BJ's. I'm not sure about Costco. I have those on hand all the time. They take 12 minutes to heat up. They're very minimally processed, no hormones. I have those. Then I do fish sticks for them too. Again, not the healthiest. They are fried, but I bake them when I reheat them. But it's better than a lot of things out there. Then there's always like a pasta or soup night. They like orzo soup or pastina or just penne with, they don't even put anything on it except sprinkled cheese. So those are things that I always have on hand for them. And again, the few vegetables that they eat, the frozen broccoli, the cherry tomatoes, my daughter will eat raw peppers, avocados, sweet potatoes. I always have those things on hand. They'll also eat homemade chicken cutlets. So like this week on my menu is also Asiago crusted chicken breast. So I will make extra of those so that I have them for them, and just I'll heat them up and serve with some brown rice and corn and vegetables. They'll eat that. So they don't get like fancy schmancy meals, but they're getting balanced meals and they're getting decent meals. You know, they're not eating macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets every single night. Sometimes sometimes that happens if I'm not prepared, because again, being prepared is key. So if I don't have that stuff, that, you know, that may happen a day or two in a row, and then I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Like, my kids are getting absolutely no nutrients whatsoever. So being prepared is key. Being prepared for yourself, being prepared for your kids. This was a little longer than I had wanted it to be. I'm really sorry, but I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I am going to be meal prepping when you actually see this video. So I will share some pictures. I'll share, I'll answer any questions that you have. So just let me know. And I hope everybody has a great week. Always remember that prior planning prevents poor performance. Your nutrition is 80% of the battle. If weight loss is a goal for you, you have got to get your nutrition in check. And it's my biggest struggle. So I can feel your pain. I feel the struggle. It is so real. But you have to understand that you can't out-exercise a bad diet. And you have to make it a lifestyle, not a diet. Don't live off grilled chicken and salad like I posted the other day, because you will get bored and then you will binge and then you'll end up like back to where you started and then some. Also, just try to enjoy the process. Try to have fun with it. Get creative. Get your kids involved. Get your spouse involved. It's fun and you'll feel proud. You'll feel so good. You're doing your body like such a good thing, feeding it with good whole foods. So feel proud of that. Feel good. Even if you can only make little changes and little adjustments at first, starting somewhere is better than not starting at all. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and I'll talk to you guys soon.